I've got some good news that I want to share with you, so I want to take just a couple of minutes before the ushers prepare to receive our morning tithes and offerings to tell you about a brand new ministry that we're starting here at Shepherd's Community United Methodist Church. It's called Second Saturday Service. Can you guys say that with me? It's great alliteration. Second Saturday Service. And on the second Saturday of every month, starting in the month of March, our church is going to be hosting an opportunity for you to come and serve the larger community as the hands and feet of Jesus. So we're going to be partnering with other great organizations like Habitat for Humanity and the Salvation Army to create easy ways for you to do what Jesus has called you to do, to be his hands and feet to the poor, the vulnerable, and the hurting in our community. It says in Deuteronomy 15:11, "You shall open wide your hands to your brother, to the needy and to the poor in your land." And this is a big part of what it means to be a follower of Jesus, who also says in Matthew 5, "You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds," and do what, church? Glorify your Father in heaven. So in obedience to Jesus, we want to serve as the hands and feet of compassion, and we want you to join us and also invite others to come and see what God is doing through us, giving your friends who don't have a church home a chance to find new life through service as well. So the second Saturday of March, which is March the 12th, we're going to gather in the church parking lot at 8:45, and we're going to carpool over to the Florida Baptist Children's Home, which is close to downtown if you're not familiar. And we're going to play some games and do crafts with the kids there. And there's no RSVP required. You just have to show up. But here's the most important thing. And if you don't hear me say anything else, this is truly the most important thing. We want you to invite a friend who does not have a church home. We want you to invite a friend who does not have a church home. I cannot stress enough the importance of this aspect of the ministry, because one of the ways that we reach people for Christ, new people for Christ, is by tapping into their natural desire to want to make a difference in the world, and then building relationships with them as we serve together. So people that aren't interested in going to church aren't going to be magically wanting to come because you ask them out of the blue. People that aren't interested in studying the Bible are not going to magically want to come to your small group just because you ask them out of the blue. But people who are not interested in church and who are not interested in the Bible are interested in helping hurting people, which means that they're much more likely to come and build a habitat home with you than to come to church on Sunday morning. So we want to encourage you to invite your friends who do not have a church home. And if they come, they're going to develop a deeper friendship with you. And they're going to develop some deep friendships with other Christians who are serving beside them from our church. And this is going to do a couple of things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to dispel the stereotypes, the negative stereotypes that people have about Christians. People look at Christians sometimes and say, we don't really want to hang out with them because they're judgmental, they're hypocritical, I do something bad, they beat me over the head with their Bible. There's all of these bad stereotypes about Christians. And when we invite our unchurched friends to come and serve with us, and they see Christ working through our service, it will dispel a lot of those stereotypes. And Jesus can then use that as an opportunity to speak to them through their service with us as well. So as we become living and breathing witnesses to the love of God, and as we build genuine friendships with people who don't know Jesus, they might get curious enough at some point to want to come to a Sunday morning worship service or a Wednesday night Bible study. So all we're asking you to do is, number one, check your calendar and sign up for the ones that you're able to attend. We know that you won't be able to attend all of them, but we want you to look at your calendar, and if you don't have things already planned, we're just going to be doing this from like 9 o'clock in the morning until noon, so you'll still have a lot of your Saturday left. Go ahead and sign up, and then the most important thing, bring a friend who does not have a church home so that they can see in action what a real disciple of Jesus looks like, and to give Jesus a chance to speak to them through our witness. Now, keeping in mind that personal invitation is the most effective way to invite people, I want to make just a couple of suggestions on how to get friends to come with you. Most of you have a lot of folks at work who don't have a church home, and you might not be great friends with them. You might simply be acquaintances, and it might be difficult for you to walk up and just to kind of do a cold call and say, hey, come to a service project with me. But I wonder if there are people here who would be willing to talk to your supervisor at work. If you're the supervisor, we can just eliminate this step. But talk to your supervisor and ask if it would be possible to send an email throughout your company inviting people to come and serve. We don't want you to mention the name of our church when you do this. We simply want you to create a very simple email that says something like, I'm getting together with a group of friends to go and play games and make crafts with the orphans at the Florida Baptist Children's Home, and we could really use an extra pair of hands. Would you like to join us? And then people who are interested in doing that, then you can give them the details about they can either meet at the parking lot here and carpool over, or they can meet us on site and give them the specifics. But you don't want to have pressure. You just want to extend an invitation. Would you like to come and help make a difference in the city of Lakeland? And this same strategy works with one-on-one, face-to-face invitations. I want to challenge you this morning to do this, and if you've tuned me out, I want you to come back because this is super important. I want you to be in prayer this week and in the weeks that follow, asking God to show you who you need to invite. God knows the hearts of all of your friends and family and all of your circles of influence, and there's someone who needs to hear about Jesus, but they're going to have a hard time hearing until they see Jesus in action through us. And I want you to pray and ask yourself, who does God want me to invite? And then when God shows you the person, I want you to give them a call or have lunch with them and say, hey, once again, I'm getting together with a group of friends. We're going to go make crafts and play games with the kids at the Florida Baptist Children's Home. We could use an extra pair of hands. Would you be willing to come and join us? Again, you're not talking about our church. You're giving them a chance to come and see Christ at work. Also, you can invite your friends through Facebook, through private messenger, or through text message. But however you do it, it doesn't really matter. However you do it, we want you to invite a friend who does not have a church home. And I'm going to tell you, after they serve, they are going to thank you for that opportunity to make a difference in Lakeland. They're going to thank you for that. And God will use it, if not now, later, God will use it to help them find a better way of life. So please go ahead and mark your calendars again for March the 12th to join us in this first project and be in prayer about who you should invite. Okay?